Authorised by A. Hurst Liberal, Canberra.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage the Federal Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I wish I got that reception in Kooyong. How's that? Oh, I really do. Well, friends, fellow Australians, 3 years ago, we said to the Australian people on the eve of the 2019 election that under the coalition, the economy would be stronger, and we delivered. We said that under the coalition, more people would be in work, and we delivered. That under the coalition, taxes would be lower, and we delivered. That under the coalition, essential services would be guaranteed, we would list more drugs on the PBS, and we delivered. And under the coalition, we would invest more in national security and defence, and we delivered. Despite the biggest economic shock since the Great Depression, the first global pandemic in more than a century, we have kept our promises to the Australian people. And we have an economic plan that is working, with a faster and stronger economic recovery than all major advanced economies around the world. Faster and stronger than the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Canada and Japan. This is not luck. This is a result of an economic plan that is working. 400,000 more Australians in work today than when we came to government. An unemployment rate on path to its lowest in some 50 years. Female unemployment today at its lowest level since 1974. More people in a trade apprenticeship on record. More than 300,000 Australians helped into a home in just the last 3 years. Lower taxes for more than 11 million Australians, rewarding aspiration and rewarding hard work. And small businesses, more than 3.6 million of them, the backbone of our economy, seeing the lowest company tax rates in some 50 years. This is our record under the Morrison government. And Australians, whether they are a manufacturer in Melbourne, a hospitality worker in Hobart, or a tradie in Townsville, Scott Morrison and the Coalition have had their back through the pandemic and have their back into the future. But this is not a time to put all those gains at risk with a weak Labor leader who over the last 35 days has shown himself to be completely out of his depth. He says, Anthony Albanese says, he's eminently qualified to be Prime Minister because he was acting Prime Minister, wait for it, for all of 48 hours. Now, I never thought I would ever say it, let alone at a Liberal Party meeting, but thank you, Kevin Rudd, for making it only 48 hours. In an election about jobs, Anthony Albanese doesn't know the unemployment rate. In an election about cost of living, he doesn't know the cash rate. And in an election about economic management, he has not put forward one policy for independent costing by Treasury or Finance. And he wants to be your Prime Minister. The reality is, the Labor Party have not put forward their policies for costing because we know they cannot manage money. We know that they will always tax more. We know that they will always spend more. They committed more than $80 billion of additional spending during COVID, including $6 billion of taxpayers' money for people to get the jab even though they've already had the jab. $21 billion of additional election commitments in just these last 35 days. $52 billion in hidden commitments and more than $300 billion in so-called policy platform commitments, the detail of which Australians will not find out about until after the election. And we know how they'll pay for it. They will dust off the $387 billion of higher taxes from the last election to pay for their commitments at this election. Higher taxes on Australian super, higher taxes on Australians' family businesses, higher taxes on Australia's income, higher taxes on people's superannuation, higher taxes on retirees, higher taxes on housing. Labor did it before, and given half a chance, they will do it again. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Australians, this election is a clear choice. A choice between a coalition led by Scott Morrison, made up of Liberals and Nationals, that have delivered a stronger economy, that have delivered more jobs, that have delivered lower taxes, and that have a plan for a stronger future. And a coalition of Labor and the Greens, with the unions at the head table, which will only deliver a weaker economy, higher taxes and fewer jobs. Politics is a serious business. You change the government and you change the economy. And the economy is fundamental to everything. This election is not a time to risk Labor with a weak and unproven leader. This is a time to re-elect a Liberal Nationals coalition led by Scott Morrison. Thank you very much.